morning, students of class 9th. In the previous video we have discussed your topic, the food security in India, and in that topic we have discussed about the concept, the two stories, that one was of Ahmed and the other one was your of Ramu. And in both these stories we have compared the lives of both the people, and by comparing the life of both the people, that the life of Ramu and the life of Ahmed, we were able to understand the importance of food security. Now, in today's video, we will be discussing about the concept of food security in India in detail, right? So that how in India food security is implemented. See, on page number 46 of your books, there is a table given in which there are different types of hunger are given, right? And in the rural areas, the seasonal hunger is given as 16.2, that was in 1983, and it has declined to 2.6, which indicates that the amount of the percentage of hungry people or the people who are dying because of hunger has reduced a lot. Now, in today's video, we will be discussing and basically talking about the concept of self-sufficiency, right? So let us first of all understand the topic self-sufficiency. That what is the meaning of the term self-sufficiency and how self-sufficiency can be achieved in India. See, self-sufficiency means that when a country is sufficient enough within the food grains production, that the amount of food grains produced in a country are able to fulfill the needs of the people living in the country, which means that, let us say, around 120 crore people are living in India. So if we are able to produce enough food grains that we are able to supply the food to all the people that are living in India, then we are self-sufficient. Earlier, at the time of independence in 1950, India was not an independent nation. In the case of self-sufficiency, that we were dependent on other countries for the supply of food. But later on, in the coming years, what happened, that in India the self-sufficiency was achieved through the process of Green Revolution, right? So now a new term is introduced, that is Green Revolution. Now what is Green Revolution? Let us understand that. Green Revolution refers to the increase in the production of food grains that was achieved with the help of HYV seeds, that is high yielding variety of seeds, right? So it is given in your books on page number 46. The percentage as well as chronic hunger, the percentage of seasonal as well as chronic hunger has declined in India as shown in the above table. India is aiming at self-sufficiency in food grains since independence. After independence, Indian policy makers adopted all measures to achieve self-sufficiency in food grains. India adopted a new strategy in agriculture, which resulted in the Green Revolution. That a new strategy was aimed, a new policy was made, due to which the target of or project of Green Revolution was successful, right? Especially in the production of wheat and rice. Indira Gandhi, the PM of India, officially recorded the impressive strides of Green Revolution in agriculture by releasing a special stem entitled Wheat Revolution in July 1968. It is important for exam point of view that in 1968, Srimati Indira Gandhi, who was the Prime Minister of India at that time, she even launched a stamp, right, a special stamp which entitled Wheat Revolution, and it was launched in the year 1968. The success of wheat was later replicated in rice, right? That in Green Revolution, first of all, the target was wheat, and later on, when the target of wheat was achieved, the target was shifted from wheat to rice. Okay. So the Indian food grain was, however, disappropriate. The highest rate of growth was achieved in Uttar Pradesh and Madhya Pradesh was 44.01 and 30.21 million tons in 2015-16. The total food grains production was 252.22 million tons in 2015-16. It was changed to 257.68 million tons in 2016-17. So these are the figures that you need to remember. UP and MP has recorded a significant production in field of wheat, which was 26.87 and 17.69 million tons in 2015-16 respectively. West Bengal and UP, on the other hand, recorded significant production of rice from 15.75 to 12.51 million tons in 2015-16 respectively. Right. So these were some figures given to you that how the food grains were earlier, and later on that how much it increased after the introduction of Green Revolution. Now in this topic we are going to be going further and discuss that how food security in India is achieved. See, for comparison you can also see the graph which is given in your books on page number 47. See, on page number 47 the graph is given and it shows the production, right, the production of food grains in India, and we can see from 1960, and when we compare 1960 to 2010, there is a very big increase. The percentage is very much that from 80 million tons the production is increased to 245 million tons, right? So we can say that there is an increase in the production, and due to that increase in production, the India is able to achieve the concept of Green Revolution and the food security in India. Okay, moving forward, food security in India. Since the advent of Green Revolution in the early 1970s, the country has avoided famine even during adverse weather conditions. India has become self-sufficient in food grains during the last 30 years because of the variety of crops grown all over the country. The availability of food grains, even in adverse weather conditions or otherwise at the country level, has further been ensured by a careful designed food security system by the government. The system has two components: buffer stock and PDS. Right. So after the 1970s, that after the Green Revolution, India has never faced a shortage of food because of the two policies that it has been adopting. The one is the buffer stock and the other one is the PDS, the public distribution system. So let us discuss about both the topics. The first one, buffer stock, and the next one, that is your PDS, public distribution system. So let us first of all understand what is buffer stock. Buffer stock is the stock of food grains, namely wheat and rice, produced by the government procured by the government through the Food Corporation of India, right? So there is a Corporation of India known as FCI. It is an institution, Food Corporation of India. This Food Corporation of India, what happens that this Food Corporation of India starts collecting the food grains from the country, from the farmers, and when they procure it, they procure the food grains from the country, from the farmers of the country in the on the price known as the minimum support price, the MSP, right? And after that, when they procure the food grains, what does the corporation do? The corporation takes the food grains and it stores it with itself, right? So the FCI purchases wheat and rice from the farmers in the state where there is surplus production. The farmers are paid a pre-announced price for their crop, which is known as MSP, minimum support price. But like I told you, the Food Corporation of India purchases the farmers' products at MSP. The MSP is declared by the government every year before the sowing season to provide incentive to the farmers for raising the production of these crops. The purchased food grains are stored in the granaries. Do you know why the buffer stock is created by the government? This is done to distribute food grains in the deficit areas and among the poor strata of the society at a price lower than the market price, known as issue price. Right. So what happens? The FCI procures the food from the farmers at a price that is MSP, and they store it. Now what do the government do? The government distributes those food grains in the areas where there is low food supply or there is shortage of food, right? So what does the government do? The government supplies this food into the areas where there is shortage of food, okay, and it also supplies it at a price known as the issue price, okay. So the government will buy the food grains at MSP and will distribute it at the issue price. This also helps to resolve the problem of shortage of food during the adverse weather conditions or during the calamities. Okay. Now let us discuss about PDS, that is Public Distribution System. Now let us discuss that what is the concept of PDS. See, PDS or Public Distribution System. The Food Corporation of India, the food procured by the FCI is distributed through the government regulated ration shops among the poor section of society. This is called the Public Distribution System. See, the buffer stock is maintained by the FCI. Right, the buffer stock is maintained by the FCI. Now, what FCI will do? FCI will procure the food and will store it. Now, the government will decide that where that food grain should be distributed. When the government decides so, the government will distribute the food to the PDS. The FCI will give food to the PDS, the Public Distribution System, or what we call in common the ration shops. And after giving the food to the ration shops, those ration shop owners will distribute the food to the people who are having the ration cards. Okay. Okay. Villages, town, cities. There are about 5.5 lakh ration shops all over the country. Ration shops, also known as fair price shops, keep stock of food grain, sugar and kerosene for cooking. These items are sold to the people at a lower price than the market price, and the price at which the ration shop owners gives the food to the people, that is known as issue price, and that issue price is given by the government. It is the job of the government to fix the issue price for every commodity, whether it is wheat, whether it is rice, whether it is kerosene or any other commodity. For every commodity, the ration shop will fix the ration shop's price will be fixed by the government, and that at that price only the ration shop will have to give the ration to the public. Okay, so that is also known as fair price shop. So I hope the concept is clear to you. Now we will be meeting in the next video, in which we will be discussing about the topic that what are poor and how are people eligible for getting the food from the ration shop, because every person should not get the food from the ration shop. The ration shops are open for the people who are needy, right, who are in dire need of the food, right. not the rich section of the society. So ration cards are made for the people who are below poverty, and how that is decided. We will meet in the next video and we will discuss about that. Okay. So we will meet in the next video. Till then, stay at your homes and stay safe. Thank you.